What's going on, everybody? Rob Ferretti here. Big day because we're here at Petrol Works Performance out in Long Island, and this barn find Supra right here, which I bought 6 months ago and said was going to be done in 30 days, is about to get done. Now, there are reasons, there's a lot of good reasons that this car didn't get done in the last 6 months, and here they are. So yeah, we had a lot of fun, but I piled up all the parts for this thing. So I ordered everything, and now we're gonna do this build in 36 hours. And when I say 36 hours, we're gonna sleep in between, but it will be 36 working hours from taking this perfectly stock 95 Supra and turning it into a 1,000+ horsepower monster. So let's get this thing inside and get this project started. All right, we've actually got both of my Supras here, and I do have some parts from my shop coming back for that one. And that's where I've got the seats and the bumper, which I'm probably going to pull the front bumper off of my 98, put it on my 95, as well as a hood, and turn my 98 to a stock body again, so I don't have to buy two sets of bumpers and hoods, because this is the one I'm going to be driving, and that one people probably wanted stock hood, stock bumper anyway. And the hood and the bumper have VIN numbers on it, and the VIN tags go a long way with the vehicle's value. Win-win. Now I'll get this unloaded and we'll go through all the parts that we have, see what we've got, and give you a little walkthrough on the build. All right, we're starting the clock. It's 12:30 in the afternoon, just about lunchtime, so we're good. We'll take a lunch break in a second. But we have, the car is up in the air. We're gonna start taking it down. That is day one. So day one, by the end of the day, we wanna have this car stripped down to essentially the frame. And then we'll start rebuilding it tomorrow. We'll get the engine built tomorrow, and most of the coilovers, suspension, brakes, all of that stuff will go up on the car tomorrow. We'll get the engine and trans dropped in the third day and get it tuned up, and hopefully everything else on the fourth day. So that's about 36 hours. I'll show you the stuff we've got over here just so you have an idea of what's going on. And we'll keep you in the loop as to what's ugly under here that we may have to replace that we didn't think about, but I'm pretty sure we're good. And now we're going full build on this, even down to the license plate. Montana, 320 HP plate. Like, it's cute, right? It's my first custom plate. I'll skip over and I'll show you the differences between these are the 98 seats. I wanted to swap the color of the interior. I don't like what it looks like when you rewrap seats, so I'll figure out what to do with those. I'm going with the Sparkos. Here I've got the new center console. Obviously a bunch of this is interior trim. You'll see this is from the 98, this is 95. They're the same except these, and this will be your most dramatic. So one is $100, the other one's like $2,000 because it's gray and limited. It's really silly. But that is what it is. So these pieces for the 98 have a tremendous value, as they shouldn't. Even these, I saw some guy selling these for like $2,500 or $4,000, something absurd for two plastic pieces. Just take the car apart and sell it. Over here we got the Brembos. We're going to do a full Brembo. This is the SRT big brake kit going on. New lines, new hardware, new everything. This is for the tack. It's weird. People sell these tacks like for thousands of dollars. I'm going to do the TRD tack, 10,000 RPM. It's an 8,000 RPM red line, but 10,000 RPM shows, which is important because we're going to be spinning it to 10,000 RPM. So I just go to the needle pegs. Over here, we've got these turbos, these Garrett G25-660s provided by Full Race. So I'm excited to get these on the car and make some big horsepower. A lot of people, like this red car over here, would tend to go with a big turbo, which takes longer to spool. I went with two smaller turbos, which when you put them together, this will spool quicker. We'll have more power under the curve the whole way. HKS coilovers. So we've got a full coilover suspension going on it. Over here we have the AEM Infinity setup. So this is going to be running our tuning software. Over here, right behind you, we have the manual transmission swap. So we're going from an automatic Turbo Supra to a manual Turbo Supra. There's probably more here that I'm missing, but this is the crux of it. This is the build. It's going to be happening in the next 36 hours, and you're going to join me for that. And it's going to start right now with the teardown. Including a lunch break. We're 3 hours into this and we've got the entire engine out of the car. Engine drive line is down except for the rear diff because we have to walk the car outside because it is absolutely filthy under here. We're going to power wash this whole engine bay and get it looking at least nice. I'm happy to see that the steering rack, I don't even want to touch it, it's so gross. But there is a layer of crap on this. And this should all clean up nicely. We'll get that outside. We're putting all the parts where they have to go so they're out of the way and we're ready to go in the morning. But we'll get this thing cleaned up. We've got the engine at the machine shop. It's probably going to be about 5 hours worth of work today, all said and done. But we'll at least get it clean so we're ready to start fresh in the morning and hammer at it and hopefully get the engine in the car by the end of the day tomorrow, which puts us about 16 hours into it. So stay tuned. We're going to bring this outside, get it washed up, and looking a hell of a lot better than this. Now that we have the engine out over here, you can see this is the view that everybody saw from the front. Looks like, old, but not terrible, right? When you come around to the back is when you really start to see, just for context, and I'll take a photo of myself holding the turbo so you can see the size of these things versus my head. But I'm not even putting very large turbos on it. But these factory turbos are not much bigger than my hand. I mean, they're quite small. It's never going to make really big horsepower. BPU was a popular thing, was a base performance upgrades that people used to do on the car to keep the stock turbos and just try to maximize what they can out of it, that game is over. Now, if you look at the back here, leaking from the valve cover gaskets, you could just see years of sludge and grossness here. Like, to the point where it coated everything down here on the bottom. And another reason it wasn't running right, I don't think this guy did very much in the way of maintenance at all. I think he drove it, enjoyed the crap out of it, and I salute him for that. Like, I will not ever fault somebody for enjoying the crap out of something for their life. But he did not do the best thing for resale, not that it ultimately mattered, and maintain this car the way he should. But this catalytic converter melted on the inside. So this car was never really going to run right again. The amount of money it would take to make this car run right again and essentially restore this car will be more than I'm probably spending to make it cool, and it would just be a slow old Toyota with 150,000 miles on it. Even though the condition would be nice, just to recondition everything wouldn't be worth it. So I am doing right by this chassis, and I'm going to make this car live on forever in a very awesome fashion, the way it was essentially designed and capable of doing in 1995. I want to take a quick time out, thank the sponsors of this build. Without them, it would cost me more money to do this, and it's much better if I can build this and still feel good about it by saving a couple of bucks. We've got Full Race, got those awesome Garrett G25-660 turbos that are going to go over there. They're awesome. I'm looking forward to those. They're going to make all the power. Of course, we're here at Petrolworks. Petrolworks is doing an awesome job here. They're banging this thing out in a couple of days. A lot of shops wouldn't be able to accommodate that and make this thing from 0 to awesome inside a couple of days and reliable, which is key. That's why I'm out here at Petrolworks, and I can't wait to drive this thing. We've got chameleon coatings. They did the Brembo brakes, made them look awesome. And we've got my wife, who let me come out here and do this on our anniversary when I've got a race coming up in a couple of weeks. So thank you for all the sponsors. Back to the video. And here we are. It's just about 6 o'clock now. So we're about 5.5 hours in. Well, say figure 5 hours of work. And we've got the entire engine bay stripped, cleaned. We polished up a little bit here. The visible areas we're going to clean up just a little bit to make it look nice. We grinded down over here where there was a little rust from the battery acid, but we can just probably spray that over. If I was going to take my time and do this car for whatever 3-week build, or we're ordering parts and we're waiting on it and time wasn't really a concern, I probably would strip this and repaint the entire engine bay. It's not worth doing that. We're going to clean it up. We're going to make it look real nice. We got rid of the ABS, which on this model isn't very good anyway. It's a lot of weight. That's coming out. This is pretty much what we're going to have in the engine bay. We got the brake booster, we got the fuse box, battery's going to go in the back. Really not much in here other than big engine, big turbos, intercooler, couple of fans, and it's looking much better. I mean, if you look down here, you can actually see the subframe and everything like that. It cleaned up real nice with some power washing and degreaser, but we're bringing this thing back to life. We're going to wrap up day one here. Tomorrow morning, we'll be here back at it, getting into this thing. So 5 hours down, 31 hours to go. And this car is going to be looking and driving really nice. There are going to be hiccups along the way. We got some fab work and everything like that. But this thing is going to be awesome inside the next couple of days.